Well, apparently I'm going to a funeral today. I'm in all black.
Yeah, you're in all black. Hey guys, Eric and Aaron here. Thanks for watching Bear Wars Spot and Stock. We got Aaron here. He was the star of the show. Him and Tyler.
Co-star.
Tyler was a real star.
He was.
You tagged out early and you got sick.
And he killed a giant.
You're automatically the star when you kill a giant.
As well as that's how it should be. That thing was ginormous.
Big old head.
Yeah.
Tyler still hasn't measured it, by the way. But we just want to basically let you guys know how much we appreciated you watching Bear Wars Spot and Stock. As you know, Bear Wars are unique. They're special to us. We love hunting. It's fun to get out there in the spring, chase these animals with a rifle. And we just want to basically talk about it. We want to make sure that you guys subscribe. Okay, we got more Bear Wars coming. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to do a giveaway. But first, I want to ask Aaron a couple questions. Aaron, what did you most learn from this hunt? This was your first backpack spring bear hunt. What would you say was your number one takeaway from this hunt? It was obviously in some super rough country. It was miserable at times, but it was absolutely stunning scenery.
Gorgeous.
For the most part.
Yeah. So my number one takeaway was probably preparation. So not only physical preparation, but preparation in gear, because what didn't get shown during the first 3 videos of this spot stock hunt was I had a handful of malfunctions and I didn't have backup. So number one, the seal on my water broke. On my, bladder. My water bladder broke. And it floated down the river. Never to be seen again. And once again, going back to how steep and nasty this country was, like, you can't have malfunctions. You can't have problems in that country.
You gotta have backup.
You gotta have backups. And so
you didn't have backup water?
No, I shared with Tyler the rest of the time. Which, that last day we had like 9+ miles back to the truck in this type of country. And having to share with Tyler, who had a really heavy pack. Still don't know how heavy his pack was. He says it was 100 pounds.
No.
It wasn't 100 pounds.
No. Sorry.
Good try, Tyler.
Nice try. 120 pounds. Okay, if you're that far in the back country, it's gonna be like 150 pounds, okay? But look, when we get back to town and we're on flat ground and we can jump in our vehicle and go to the grocery store, that's why on that inside Bear Wars shows, I'm like, dude, pull out that hide and let's weigh it. I'm like, it ain't 80 pounds, it ain't 100 pounds. Sure enough, it was like 52 pounds. So we tend to exaggerate things when we're miserable in the backcountry and we're tired and exhausted.
And everyone does it and it's easy to do.
He calls me out for stuff, by the way. So that's why I have to keep him honest and call him out.
Now, but going back to that, I will say Tyler was maxed out and he had a lot of weight. Compared to what a lot of people do, he had a heavy pack. He had to hide some of the meat and he had camp and food for 2 more days because we're planning on staying long.
I will say Tyler's a super tough kid.
He is
very strong, very tough. He's only about 5'8", but he's a firefighter and he's got a lot of grit.
I learned how tough Tyler was on that one.
Yeah.
But going back to it, I had to share with Tyler all the way out and we ran out. Luckily we had to cross a river to get back, so we were able to fill up again, but so that happened. Another thing was Tyler almost lost my rangefinder.
Yeah.
So going back, I should have had a chart with ballistics and I should have I will have, moving forward, some sort of ballistics chart and I'm gonna write it down and I'm not going back in there again without that, because say we see a giant bear on the way out, like we would have had now we got lucky and we found it and that was a miracle because Garrett was filming. So we were able to watch the film and watch where it fell out. If you watched episode 2 and 3, you'll see where that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just backups and being prepared.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yep.
Did you have a backup headlamp?
Yes, I did. I actually did have a backup.
What about backup batteries?
No.
Yeah.
So it's extra weight, which you don't want to have, but there are certain things you need to pick which items out that you need backups for, and it's worth the wait.
What about first aid kit?
No.
You're an idiot.
I don't think I even brought a first aid kit, to be honest, which
You're an
not
idiot.
really smart. Yeah, not smart. So, those were probably the biggest things that I learned. And honestly, the year before, so my first ever bear hunt where I had a tag, the biggest thing I learned was making sure you just put the time behind the weapon. Because we've talked about this over and over Instagram and even on our episodes. You have to be prepared to take a longer shot, and not only a longer shot, but a more difficult shot. Because you'll see in episode 1, we had a bear right under us off this cliff. It was at like 380 yards, but literally it was straight over the cliff. And then we passed that bear, but even the bear I did take, it was a super weird angle, and you just have to be prepared to know how to shoot on crazy angles. And then, a lot of shots in bear country are farther shots.
Yeah.
My shot was 600 yards. Tyler got lucky at a 120-yard shot.
That
Which
was
can
only
happen.
120.
Oh yeah. Did you hear how fast that smacked that bear? It was thud. So, but that was lucky, and yeah, that was dang lucky. The bear just happened to be coming down to water. So
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things too is watching your guys' hunt. I obviously wasn't there, but coming back from Hawaii a few months ago, you're gonna have obscure shooting positions, especially in the gnarly backcountry. You're gonna be on top of your pack. You're not gonna be on level ground. It's not like you're going to the shooting range and you got a nice cement pad,
yeah.
a nice voodoo whatever mat, and no, you've got rocks on your hips and pebbles etched into the bottom of your elbows and imprints all over your forearms from laying on the gravel and rock and potentially cactus and whatnot. So you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, if you will. So I think, and what do I always tell you? Shoot your gun, shoot your gun, shoot your gun. And I could be a hypocrite at times. There's a few years where I was really, really good. I was shooting all the time. And that's when I told myself I'm tired of missing stuff. I'm tired enough, and I just went on a spree where I just shot my weapon. Well, I've changed a lot of weapons because I've been trying new calibers and new rifles, so I haven't been as consistent as I should be. But I think being prepared, having backup, having first aid kit, having a plan, a backup plan. Tyler's really good at planning. I'm glad you had some planners, because if you were just doing that by yourself, you would have been out of there day one because you weren't prepared.
Yeah, well, Garrett and Justin had I don't think Garrett's a planner. So just to be clear,
Justin's more of a planner.
Justin's he's very particular and very good, and Justin had this all planned out, how we were getting in, out. But just to say, two years prior, they tried to get into that same place. They tried coming in from the bottom, and they couldn't do it. They went out after a day. So it also takes trial and error to figure out.
You gotta screw up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta screw up.
What was your least favorite part about this? What was one point you dreaded the most, or you're like, this isn't fun? Like, what happened during the hunt where you're like, okay, I'm not enjoying myself or having fun?
Okay, so two things. Number one, I killed on the first day, like Eric mentioned. And so I had to, day 2 in the morning, take my hide and meat back, which was, I think, approximately 3 miles one way, so 6 to 7 round trip. I don't know the exact distance, but I mean, that is dropping all the way down to the river and gaining all the elevation back. So I had to go all the way back to the truck, get the hide meat on the cooler, and come back. And immediately when I came back, all 3 of those guys were like, oh, we just found a giant, so we have to go right now. And
You were like, no way I'm going.
No, I told them that. I said, there's no way I'm going. And they said, dude, just take your time. We'll go slow. Like, we'll help you out. And that kind of made me feel a little bit better, but that sucked.
Yeah.
And by the time we had to get 2 drainages over to where we could last for that next bear, and I was smoked. So that
I saw some heat exhaustion from you, because I felt
see
like
my face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Red.
I don't think you covered up very good.
I didn't. That's
like, for me, I'm so susceptible to sun and heat exhaustion and heat stroke. I've got to wear a buff. I've got to put sunscreen on my ears. I've got to make sure my hands are semi-covered up, because that will drain you. If you don't do well in the sun, having that will drain you. Like, I think back to some of my hunts where I had a forgettable hunt with Traverse Bino Harness one time. And the sun baked on me for 9-10 hours, and I was literally smoked. I was like, no way.
Puking at night.
Puking. exhausted, waking up sick because I had heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
And I think days in advance, you have to prepare yourself and make sure that you have plenty of fluids.
Yep, I agree.
If you're going in the backcountry, because there's only so much water you can pack with you. If you get chasing a bear, you don't know when the next time you might get fluids. So I think the preparation needs to start for your body well before the hunt begins.
So that's a really good point. And now that I think about that, going back to what did I learn? So I wore a Cryptek merino base layer, and it was their open neck one, and I will never do that again.
You wish you would have had it.
And they have their raised neck merino base layer. I will always wear that, and I will always have a neck gaiter too, because you can tell in the video I was just so beat red from face down. And that
I think you could have made it to his bear if you wouldn't have got baked by the sun. I don't think it was the hike that killed you.
Sun.
I think the sun beat you.
It was 80 degrees.
I think the sun beat you up.
I think so too. On the way out, on the last day, we ran into like 4 rattlesnakes, one of which almost sent Justin all the way down to the river.
Really?
I kid you not. And we were in stuff like this, like if you take a bad step, it's not good. Just one popped out and it coiled up. And
did you have a heavy pack on?
Way heavy pack. He has meat. We all had meat, and he just like instinctively jumped backwards, and he started to fall. And I can't remember who it was, but someone grabbed him by the straps. And it's like it took 2 people to get him up on that steep side hill. And so the rattlesnakes on the way out, horrible. And it was 80 something degrees. All the snakes were out just sunbathing. So
did you see me on the way in? Any snakes?
No. On the way out, but on the way in it was all grassy green, beautiful. On the way out, we were on all these like super south-facing slopes that were just baked by the sun, and so it was just gravelly. So
that's crazy.
Snakes, yeah. And if you asked Justin what his least favorite part was, he'd say snakes.
Snakes.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, we want to do a giveaway. We want to thank you guys for watching episode 1, 2, and 3 of Spot and Stock. We're gonna give away Aaron's rifle. No. We're gonna give away our rifle cover, the Muley Freak rifle cover. We're gonna give away 3 of these, and we're gonna give away 1 bino harness here. So this is the Traverse Bino Harness. We're gonna give these. They're only available for pre-sale right now. So this is what you gotta do. What are we asking them to do? Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you have to be a subscriber. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then comment on this video, comment below, and share your favorite part of Bear Wars so far.
Okay, so subscribe right here. I think it's gonna be somewhere around here. Can you see my hand? Okay, subscribe right here. Leave a comment on your favorite part about Bear Wars. Thank you for your support.
Thanks, guys.
All right, good trial run. Let's do it for real this time.
Shut up.